This is Trav from the Sports Bag Bros podcast. I'm here today because I want to discuss one of the greatest rounds of all time, at least according to most pundits. If you're looking at the screen, you know that it's Marvin Hagler taking on Tommy Hearns. Their nearly 3-round fight was considered one of the best fights of all time for the short period of time that it lasted. But round one in particular, according to many pundits, believe that was the greatest round of all time. Now, we can go down the history of boxing, talk about specific rounds, and we can point to other great fights, and we can say they're the best round. But most in today's boxing, or even 25 years ago, believe this was the best round. What I want to do is check out this fight. We can watch this fight together, just the first round. Yeah, it was nearly 3 rounds the fight lasted, but we can check out this round number one. This is the one in question. And what I want to do is also talk about how I want to keep the audio off so you're not influenced one way or the other. I know people may not influence you, but let's just watch it with the volume off. I will do some commentary if it doesn't get on your nerves, or if it does, well, we'll just watch it anyway. Anyway, let's start off with round number one. Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Here we go. We're waiting for round one, and here it starts. Hagler comes straight out of the corner looking for some smoke, as they would call it today. Hearns is trying to keep his distance. He's trained a long time for this fight. He's jabbing, trying to make it a finesse fight so he could drop that right hand in there. Hagler, as a southpaw, is not having it. Immediately closes the distance, and now he's forcing Hearns to fight his fight. Now, Hearns, being a Detroit fighter, being an overall tough guy, he's not going to just stand there. He's going to fight back. He's not going to let Hagler do what Hagler wants to do. But Hagler, being the bigger man naturally, even though Hearns is the taller fighter, Hearns is coming up from 147 pounds, 154, now 160. And as you see, Hagler is forcing his fight onto Tommy Hearns. He caught Tommy with a few tough shots. Hearns hit him with some good shots, but as you can see, Marvin Hagler's chin is on full display. Hearns is now trying to get back to what he trained for, a more finesse fight that he can eventually become a boxer or puncher. But Hagler, again, isn't having it. He's closing the distance from his southpaw stance. Hearns is trying to counter. And in more credit to Hagler, because Hearns is countering with a pot-shotting right hand, and Hagler's walking right through it. Now, for those of you who may not know, Tommy Hearns, during that exchange a little earlier on the ropes, did break his right hand. This is the first round. He broke his right hand, so he's limited. But he's still throwing punches because he's the ultimate warrior inside that ring. But now he's in there with an apex predator. Not that he isn't, but in this zoo, Hagler is the apex predator, and he's still coming after Tommy. And now Tommy's against the ropes again, and this is where Hagler wants him. Richard Steele is the referee. Hearns is still fighting, using the uppercut as Hagler's coming in, as the shorter fighter. And as a southpaw, that right uppercut can be a great weapon, but we're talking Marvin Hagler here. A weapon meaning you have to constantly hit him because his chin is granite. Look at Hearns, making room, using his shoulder, trying to find that uppercut in there, trying to weave some of these other punches. But Hagler, again, just making it a brawl. This is not a boxing match. And as you may know, people talk about it being the greatest round, the greatest boxing match, when this is an absolute brawl. This is a game of fortitude, all in the first round. 12 rounds fought in just 3 rounds, or nearly 3 rounds, but this is just the first round, the first salvo. And Hagler has Hearns hurt, as you can see, but Hearns just has that Detroit Kronk Jim heart. He's not going to go away. He's going to fight. He knows his hand is broken. In fact, I heard him say several times he knew his hand was broken, but what could he do? He only knows to fight. The round is over. And there we go. And that was round one. This is the round one we've been talking about as being one of the greatest. Now, is it the greatest because you've heard it so much that it's almost blasphemous to not go along with most people who are boxing fans or experts who say a lot of the same? Or do you have your own idea of what the best round had been in boxing? I mean, you can go back to Riddick Bowe and Holyfield. I think it was round 10. You can go back to Holmes and Norton, round 15. So many rounds in the annals of boxing. You know, even the little guy from the Blue Horizon and the old Blue Horizon in Philly, the 6 and 8 round Hammond Eggers, those guys who went at it that the cameras weren't even on them. They just went at it because that's just the fighter they are. You know, were those guys putting up rounds just like this, but just wasn't given the credit? I think one of the better things is, or one of it would sound more reasonable. These are 2 A+ fighters. These aren't A fighters. These are 2 A+ fighters. This isn't an A versus a B or a B versus a B. 2 A+ fighters, Hall of Famers at their peak, and they're going at it the way they did. So I think it gets more credence than a lot of these other fights we're talking about when fighters may not have been in their prime, because it's not even an argument. Not even Ken Norton was in his prime when he fought Larry Holmes and they went that 15 rounds and they put on that show in the 15th round. But anyway, let me know what you're thinking. Go to the comments. Let me know if this is the fight that you believe the first round or any round, or this the best round, first or last round, that you can come up with in boxing, or is this just a very, very good round? I think it's a very, very good round based on fights I've seen, and those 2 fights in particular that I've named, Holyfield, Bowe, Norton, Holmes, definitely giving it a run for their money, if not just as good or better than this first round with Hagler Hearns. 2 great fighters, the late Marvin Hagler. Now you still have Tommy Hearns who's still hanging here. Just let me know. Trav with Sports Bag Bros Podcast. What is this, man? I'm getting so caught up in all the boxing talk. I'm like forgetting what I'm talking about. Just leave a comment if that's what you want to do. I will be doing more of this. This is a sports station or sports channel. If you didn't know that, we talk boxing. We also talk football and other sports. So you will be seeing other sports too, and just making commentary about those things as well. Until next time.